it's also really cool to see you in this light because there's been so much speculation about your life over the past several years, and now you get to share your story on your own terms. How does that feel?
I mean, it's good. I think my mom always says nobody ever regrets taking the high road. So forever, I just have, and also like, no, we don't need to have any conversations in public. Like what happens in my family stays in my family. What happens in my personal life stays in my personal life. And so if people want to have ideas or speculation or think that they know a reality that is not a reality, like they don't. My family does, my close friends do. And it's ultimately like, that's the only opinion that matters to me. Like if I'm being a terrible person, my sister will tell me. So as long as my sister's like, good, you're good, I'm good. I don't care what anyone else says.
Was it tough to take that approach when your castmates had so many questions, thoughts, and opinions about your life?
I think that people are always going to have questions, thoughts, and opinions. And I think the minute we care or, you know, are not looking for something other than constructive criticism, like how can I help? Then that's when we kind of lose the plot. You have one thought at a time. I'm not going to waste my thought at a time on what people think of me. I'm going to spend my thoughts on building my brands, focusing on my kids, creating things that matter, because ultimately everything else is a waste. You're not going to change anyone's opinion about yourself.
And I feel so much because like even from talking to you and looking at our bakery where all the recipes say are family recipes, I feel you're kind of focusing so much on the legacy you're leaving for your kids and everything.
Totally.
How important, like, because like you're like even talking about like that's my mom's recipe, that's my grandma's recipe. What would you feel is like the legacy you hope to leave for your kids and yourself on this island?
That's exactly why I opened here, because we had been here for 4 years at that time, and I was like, they're so happy, but I can't leave here without roots, right? And these are roots for them. I hope that when they have their kids, and I'm a grandmother, that we come to Bird Bakery after the beach. Like that would be my hope for them, is that they have an identity here. That's something we created during a pretty magical time, you know? All things considered, the last 4 years have been pure magic in their eyes, which is all that matters.
How do you help them keep that perspective as a mom?
You just exist. You live that way, right? Like you can tell your kids what to do. You can do all the things, but like it's how you live your life. Like, right? We live in gratitude. We live in abundance. We live in just like the moment and adventure, which is what this show was. It was an adventure. Like it was definitely something totally out of the box for me, but also you don't always want to be so safe.
I love you talking about that too, because I am a stress eater, not a stress baker, but I feel baking helps people like calm down and it's therapeutic. Eating a cupcake freezer is therapeutic, but I feel like people don't talk, it's almost like
let me be your therapist.
Please, forever. But I feel like talking about like kids' mental health is such a forgotten topic because they almost look like, oh, now like they're acting out in high school and stuff. But I'm like, it starts then. And I love that you're being so proactive about it. And what are like some parenting tips? Because you say like living in the moment, being grateful that like parents watching this who might be struggling about how to like make sure their kids feel happy or like safe, but also in the real world, like what do you think you could like?
I'm obsessed with parenting. So this is, again, can we just do a whole episode on this?
Done.
I think we have one chance to do it right. And I think a lot of our parents didn't really go to therapy, like very rarely.
Oh.
So we have so much knowledge and information now. It's not necessarily about making them happy. It's actually like adversity is not the worst thing to happen to children, which is something I really had to keep in mind during my divorce. I'm like, this is not what I envisioned, but also how to pivot is actually the best thing you can teach your kids in life, and communication and honesty and openness. And that is like my happy place. And that is all I care to do is, yes, create a legacy, but create it with my children having a healthy, happy, balanced life where, nobody can shake them. Strong foundations, baby.
Now,
that's what it's about.
Right. And Vogue did call you the coolest mom. What is the coolest thing you do as a mom, Elizabeth?
Well, I love chatting with them. Like, I wouldn't say this is cool. It's actually maybe a red flag. It's like maybe my toxic trait. But like, I don't want them to go to bed at night. Like, I know they should go to bed at 7.
They're your buddies.
But like, I don't want to not like have our chat. So I mean, even last night they don't have school today, but you know, we were in bed at 7. I'm like, oh my god, wait, tell me everything. Like, tell me more about what I missed yesterday. Like, they are my favorite humans in the world, and there's no one I'd rather hang out with. So I don't exactly like honor the bedtime like I should.
I mean,
I don't know if that's cool.
No, yeah,
if you were my
for
mom,
me,
I would
that
never
is.
go to sleep either. I'd be like, okay, let's do dress up, let's do
Yes,
hair, let's have a great time. Yeah.
And also I throw the best slumber parties because I don't really like them at other people's houses for sleepovers. So like you have to create the space.
Ooh.
Everyone has to come to us.